Greetings, my comrades. Welcome to the first episode of Dueling for Dummies, a series where we take a deep dive into the central mechanics of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game for new and returning players to learn how to become a true duelist. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a turn-based card game where two players compete against each other. Players take turns summoning monsters, casting spells, and activating traps to defeat their opponent. Both players begin by shuffling and cutting their opponent's deck. Both players start with 5 cards, and each player draws a card at the beginning of their turn. However, the player who makes the first move does not draw a card on their very first turn. Both players start with 8,000 LP, or life points, and the objective of the game is to reduce your opponent's life points down to 0 over the course of the game. A player loses a duel when their life points drop to 0. They are put in a situation where they are required to draw a card from their deck but they have run out of cards to draw, or if the opponent activates a card or series of cards whose text mention an alternate way to win a game, even if both players still have life points. The most well-known example of the latter is Exodia, the Forbidden One, and all 4 cards that make up its limbs, the Forbidden One cards. If all 5 of these cards are in your hand at any point, you automatically win. The most common way to reduce your opponent's life points is by summoning monster cards. Each player can normal summon 1 monster per turn, either in face-up attack position, or set that monster in face-down defense position. Monsters have an ATK, or attack value applied when in attack mode, and a def, or defense value applied when in defense mode. When your opponent has no monsters on their side of the field during the battle phase, your monsters can attack directly, at which point, you subtract their attack points from your opponent's life points. However, if your opponent has a monster on the field, you cannot attack directly and must attack that monster. When 2 monsters in attack mode battle, you compare their attack points, and the monster with the higher attack value wins the battle, while the monster with the lower attack value is destroyed and sent to the discard pile, otherwise known as the GY, or graveyard. In addition, when a monster in attack position is destroyed in battle, the difference between the attack points of the 2 monsters is subtracted from the life points of the player who controlled the weaker monster. When 2 monsters with the same attack points battle, both monsters are destroyed and neither player takes damage. When a monster attacks a defense position monster, the defending monster's defense points are applied instead of its attack points. Just like before, the monster with the higher value wins the battle. If the attacking monster's attack points are higher than the defending monster's defense points, the defending monster is destroyed, but the defending player does not take damage because the monster was in defense mode. However, if the defending monster's defense points are higher, neither monster is destroyed, but the attacking player loses life points equal to the difference between the attacking monster's attack points and the defending monster's defense points. In addition to monsters, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a plethora of spell and trap cards that can aid you and your monsters, or disrupt your opponent's strategies. Spells are normally played during your turn, while traps have to be set face down on the field and cannot be flipped face up until your opponent's turn, making them slower in practice. Generally speaking, however, trap cards can get around this thanks to the added benefit of being able to activate at any point during either player's turn after being face down for the duration of your turn. As the title of this video suggests, I've only scratched the surface of the game's inner machinations by this point. Us veteran players know that there's much more to it than this, making it the perfect framework for a series of videos that will explore the nitty-gritty of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want to know more, subscribe to this channel so you'll be notified when this series continues. If you have any follow-up questions, my Duelist Kingdom Knights, mods will be happy to assist you in my Yu-Gi-Oh! Player exclusive Discord server. I'll be posting this series there as well. I'm also ready to answer any questions you leave in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Do svidaniya, comrades.